I am launching an awesome, passionate new project, okay? And today is numero uno, it's the first day for it. So, what I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to specialize in all day, all night, all day, is the IPVIA Act, okay? IPVIA Act, you're going, what the hell is an IPVIA Act? I'm going to tell you what the IPVIA Act is right now, okay? I'm in New Brunswick, Canada. This is ground zero for an assault on the family and an assault on men. So I love women. You guys are great. I love you dearly. And there's a lot of women that are being abused by this too. But this is a new law. So let's just get into it. Okay, so I'll just read from the literature. In 2018, New Brunswick enacted a law called the Intimate Partner Violence Intervention Act. The acronym for that is IPVIA. Okay? This new law permits individuals experiencing intimate partner violence, very Orwellian, to apply for emergency intervention orders. Now, let's see, we got anything else in here? Let's just go for this, okay. What is an emergency intervention order? Let's read it. An emergency intervention order, EIO, just think, oh, MacDonald had a wife, E-I-E-I-O. Now he's fighting for his life, E-I-E-I-O. With a lawyer here and a lawyer there, there a judge, everywhere a lawyer. Oh, MacDonald had a wife. Just think that, E-I-E-I-O. Okay. Is an order made under the Intimate Partner Violence Intervention Act, okay, on application of someone experiencing intimate partner violence. These orders may contain a variety of temporary conditions to enhance the safety of victims, include, for example, provisions for the applicant to temporarily, 6 months. How's that for temporary? 6 months stay in the family residence, apartment, house, mobile home, etc., while the partner must move out. Emergency intervention orders are intended for situations where intimate partner violence has occurred or is likely to occur, and the situation is serious enough to require immediate response. Let's get right into it. Okay. An EIO, as the Emergency Intervention Order, is filed secretly. This is a no-notice order. So this is the way it works. This is lovely and all. It's purple. It's purple because it's gender neutral, right? Look, I mean, it is, right? It's purple, everybody. Now, they say that this is for everybody, okay? And technically speaking, it is for everybody. But let me tell you, this has got female beating males up all over it in practice, okay? So the whole gender neutral thing is covered, and I will talk more about that. This is all my opinion, okay? Everything I'm saying is my opinion. Don't believe a word of what I'm saying. I'm just talking about my opinion on this. I've read it. I've had some experience with it, and I'm just going to tell you my opinion of this, okay? That's it. You can take this for a grain of salt. Now, let's say, for example, a woman wants to get rid of her husband, okay? Let's say that they've been down the road, they've had enough of each other, there's no violence, according to Webster's dictionary, which says violence is physical, okay? So there's no violence. But she just doesn't get along with him too well, and they bicker and things like this, and she just as soon like to just move on and get this guy out of her life, right? But the problem is they've got these, inconvenient children, right, that love their father. How inconvenient is that? Doubly inconvenient. They love their dad. So she can't just up and leave, because if she up and leaves, then there's going to be, this inconvenient family court case, which, is gender bias and will, 90% of the time sides with the woman anyway. But why risk the other 10 at all when, you don't really want to go, and it's time consuming in court, and where are you going to live and all this stuff, right? So the emergency intervention order in the IPVIA is the perfect solution, because what happens under the IPVIA is you can make subjective claims, right? For example, a person, the husband in this case, could have no criminal record, no history of violence, no psychosis, no police records within their relationship, no medical records that support abuse, no evidence at all against this person. And the normal proceedings would be that she would file a motion for separation in court, and then the court would hear these. Like, I've been down to family law, okay? Family law, and talking to people in the family law department in New Brunswick. Claims of violence, and he beat me, and he's going to kill the family, and he's like, name it. Name the claim you can think of right now, and it's just common in family court. They're like, oh yeah, we see it all the time. It's like, seriously, they don't even bat an eye at it anymore. It's just they're desensitized. They see it so much. It just happens all the time. So it's very, very, very common, and anybody that has had experience in family court would agree with this. It's very, very common to see like escalated, exuberant claims of violence in these affidavits against each other. That's what happens. It's like laden with perjury and everything else in the family court. It's just it's like rampant. Okay, so normally what would happen is the woman would make claims against the man, and then that would go before a judge, and the judge would read it, typically speaking, look at it, and have the opportunity to go, is there any evidence for this? They would just dismiss it, right? They were like, there's no evidence to support what you're claiming. Okay, but with this new order, with this new order, it circumvents the entire legal procedure that way and takes the applicant on their word alone. This is very important. Okay. They can make any claim they want. And if you can think of it right now, I'm not going to give you examples, but if you can think of it, they can make that claim. Go wild in your mind, they can make that claim. Okay. When they make the claim, this goes immediately to a secret adjudicator. Like, it doesn't go to a court, it goes to an adjudicator within like 24 hours or something. It's like super fast. Like and you go down to a service provider to fill this thing out. So the person, the applicant, would go to a service provider, which would be, you know, the police or the transition houses. Yeah, there's 13 transition houses for women in New Brunswick. There's not even one for men. Not one. But this is gender neutral. You know, of course. Totally gender neutral. Anyway, so you go down to, if you're a man, you can't go to the transition house because, well, you're a man. You're excluded from that service provider. That service is not provided for you. But if you're a woman, yeah, you can cruise right down, take your pick. There's 13 of them. So go to one of them. And then you go in, the friendly service providers there will be more than happy to assist you. They're trained in how to, fill these things out and to make sure that, they're filled out right. And make sure that you remember everything right. They're going to help with your memory about events and stuff. They're going to help frame the way you say things and coach you a little bit there. So make sure you get everything right. And then they're going to, you'll submit this secretly to a adjudicator. It's a guy who is in the place of the judge in this place, or a woman, who takes the phone call. Okay, they'll call you about this application, and they go, I don't know, you make an arrangement for it. They call you, and then they ask the applicant questions about the application. It's under oath. You're sworn on the phone. But you don't sit in front of anybody. You can sit in the comfort. I don't know where they're sitting. Like, I mean, the applicant could be sitting in her pajamas, in her bedroom, or she could be sitting right next to somebody who's passing her notes and helping her answer the questions of the adjudicator. The adjudicator says, "Take your time. There's no hurry. Would you like a break?" They can go in the other room, do a little Google research, come back, and then answer the questions that the adjudicator has. So it's very, very relaxed, And then at the end of that, the adjudicator just pulls out his little rubber stamp and says, "No problem. I think we can get this done for you right away." Boom. 6 months. They'll just apply a 6-month EIO against this guy. So while you're sitting back relaxing at the transition house, right, having maybe a nice roast beef meal with the kids, right, who are completely confused as to what's going on here, because after all, you're framing this guy. But Yeah, while that's happening, the guy is haphazardly, foolishly sitting at the house like a bumbling idiot, with no idea what is about to happen to him. And then, let's say, you know, maybe a few hours later, the police show up. And they drag him right out of the house. Yeah, they're gonna drag him right out of the house. He doesn't know what's going on. They're just gonna put a black hood over his head. Yeah, with his name. There's a black hood with your name on it, waiting. Yeah. They drag you right out of the house. That's it. So they'll take him out of the house, and he can't stay away. He's got to stay away for 6 months. So that's the bottom line on it. And then they grant 100% custody to the woman on this too, right? That's another lovely thing. Oh, temporary custody. Yeah. So it's a setup. This is a way to frame. This is a frame up here. The chances for abusing, the opportunities to abuse this. we're gonna talk a lot about this thing. Yeah. We're gonna talk a lot about this and how it's being abused. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so as a man, I'm speaking from the perspective of a man. Okay, I'm sure this can affect ladies and stuff like that. I'm sure there's. I love women. I love the ladies, and there's a lot of beautiful, well-meaning, awesome women. I have 2 daughters. I love them. I would die for them. You know, in no small way, I kind of am dealing with my situations. But yeah, I mean, there's women that get hurt by this too. Okay, and this has a roundabout negative repercussions too, because good women are going, whoa, wait a minute. And this is female. This has got to, okay, look, whatever. There'll be a bunch of people going, no, it's not. Listen, you know a tree by the fruit that it bears. This, and when it comes out, the applications, I would bet the farm that the overwhelming number of applications on this are female. The ribbon cutting, if you will, for this, when they actually, you know, rolled this act out, it's just like a stage full of women, just lawyers and doctors and, you know, judges and ministers of the government. It's just like whoa, it's just this edifice of women, like, whoa, ready to go. And a couple of hapless guys, like, representatives, and of course the premier, right? He's got a, right? It's women. It's all about women. This is about women. Okay? The transition houses, they mention it in here. They give you a list. Look, come on. They give a list of transition houses in this. They tell you right there. Look at the back. Okay? Just a second here. Yeah, transition houses, domestic violence services, and other services. For women who need service but don't have a place to stay. Crossroads for women. Fund a transition house for women. A transition house for women. Hesta house for women. Maison de Notre for women. Miramichi Emergency Center for women. Passage house for women. Serenity House. They're all for women. Trust me. Do the research. There is no transition house for men. It's all for women. All of it. All of it. Okay? The other thing is, everybody's guilty. If you're a man and you're in a relationship, right now I can tell, I don't have to meet you. I know right now, if all I got to know is 2 things. 1, you're a man. 2, you're in a relationship. That's all I have to know, an intimate partnership. That's all I need to know. You're guilty. Right now, you're guilty. I don't need to know anything else about you. You've committed intimate partner violence. You've committed it. If you've ever had a disagreement, ever, with your partner, ever had an argument, ever told a joke that she finds now offensive. You told that joke, let's say 5 years ago or whatever, right? If she finds that offensive today, that's an act of violence against her. I'm serious. Okay? If you guys, I don't know, if you went out and partied and had too much to drink, came home and had sex. She can change your mind about that one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So, you're guilty. And when I say you're guilty, I literally mean you're guilty. Under this act, you are guilty. Because here's the other delicious part of this act. This act is reverse onus. What that means, by law, you might want to sit down for this one. Okay. By law, your Canadian Charter of Rights 11D is suspended. That's not my interpretation. That's reality. The first thing that's said to you is, this is a reverse onus law, you got to prove it. And then you look, just read the act. You have to prove your innocence, and you can't, because the evidence that you require, a good amount of the evidence that you would require to prove your evidence, to prove your innocence, is unattainable. She can use claims a quarter of a century ago. It's true. I'm not kidding. She can use claims from 15 years, 25 years ago. Oh yeah. You're never, ever, ever, ever. He hit me 25 years ago. She doesn't need evidence. She doesn't need a police report. She doesn't need medical report. She doesn't need anything. She can just say it. Yeah, he hit me 25 years ago. She can even get, what I would recommend is going even further and saying, he hit me May the 3rd, 3:30 in the afternoon, in the living room of my house while I was sitting on the couch 25 years ago. That's better. That's way better. Prove you didn't. Prove it. Go. I want to hear you. What do you say? No? Okay. For all intents and purposes in your efforts to defend yourself, you may as well just write, I didn't do it, on a sheet of loose leaf and slide it in. You're not going to be able to prove that you didn't do it, is what I'm saying. Do you understand? And right now, you're guilty. Every single man is guilty right now. And every single man right now has had their 11D on the Charter of Rights suspended. And the reason I say that, and whether or not you've had an EIO filed against you, your Charter of Rights right now, because you're under law, family law, it's law of the land, it's an act, intimate partner violence, IPVIA, it's law in New Brunswick. And if you're a New Brunswick citizen and you're under law in New Brunswick, your Charter 11D is suspended. Right now, it is, under that law. Whether you ever get charged with an IPVIA or not, you're still having your Canadian Charter of Rights suspended under law right now. It is under suspension. If you ever get charged with an IPVIA, you won't be able to use your charter. Your charter will be suspended, and you're going to go down hard. Yeah, that's what's going on. So this is being used to usurp the family. What she'll do, they're going to give her this. They're going to. Okay, there's like she needs no evidence and she can just say whatever she wants. They're going to give her this. They're going to there's a rubber stamp with your name on it. Yes. And they love using it. And they're going to take that rubber stamp and man, oh man, they're going to stamp that. Because you know what? This is their logic. She might be telling the truth. Okay? They hype up this violence. They hype it up and they redefine it, right? An argument is violent. Like even a discussion could be violent because it's all perception, right? It's all subjective. So they'll hype this up all day long and then anything is violent. And we can't have violence, right? We got to protect her, right? Definitely. Like there's not domestic violence laws already for that. Okay. Right? So that's the equivalent of opening a peanut with a 100-pound sledgehammer, hitting it as hard as you can. Or if you've got 2 weeds in, like, let's say a 2-acre lawn, just douse the entire 2 acres with that weed killer. So you want to make sure you get those 2 weeds, right? Yeah, you're gonna kill, like, 1 billion flowers and bees and butterflies and vegetables and stuff like that too. But you got those 2. You got those 2 weeds, right? And you also you made a lot of money, right? There's lots of lawyers and lots of judges buying new Audis with this, right? Lots of people in the family law system just churning it out. Woo! Ow! Yeah. Yeah. And you know what the real sad part is, though? The kids. What it does to them. This law specifically, what it does to them. This is not a separation. That's the other thing in the system. They're like, it's just a separation. Just no. No. This is a violent attack. A hostage taking. A government-sanctioned legal gang rape, and abduction of the children. So on that light note, I'm going to wrap it up. I just wanted to do a camera check. I don't even know if I'm going to use that, but I'm just checking out my green screen here, right? So we'll put some nice images behind it, and we'll see what we can do. Anyway, so that's the bottom line on this. We're going to talk a lot more about specific aspects of this law, and how it's going to destroy the family, how much, and the cost. Oh my God, seriously, you wouldn't believe how much it costs. Look, this is all the others. It cost the court. Oh, my situation in this, it must have cost tens of thousands. I'm going to do the bottom line on this. Tens of thousands of dollars already. Completely unnecessary. Completely got framed. Women abuse here. We've got some abuse literature. This is right beside the EIO. Right? Here's the emergency injunction order. Same color and everything. Look. Right? It's the same program. And then they have, I have the other one for the IPVIA. I'll get that out as well. And it's all a package deal. This is all about women. The whole thing is about women, for sure. Domestic contracts. What's a domestic contract? Marriage contract? Cohabitation, separation agreements. What's a marriage contract? They say we could just do that! Yeah! This is, you know what? That really bothers me, eh? I'm sorry. I'm getting my blood up on this. Because this is... I do feel responsible for the money that's being spent. And I know I can't because there's this crazy person that is insisting on this unnecessary, aggressive action. And, you know? But she's insisting on it. But just agree. Do an agreeing thing. You know, like, hey, man, we could do this, that, the kids then there, boom, boom, done. It saves the taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars. They want this. What I'm getting at is that this, we're gonna do a little research on this. They want this. The legal system is making tons of money on this, okay? Like, we got cops involved in this. We got lawyers involved. We got court clerks. We got judges. We got counselors. Oh, don't get me going about that. Like, there's a whole spectrum here that is just nursing, suckling like parasites on your children. It's like taking your kids and putting them in like a little husk, like, you know, like what do they call it? Drink box, like a drinking box. Just jam them in it for adults. It's like a baby drinking box. Cash cow for lawyers and people involved in the legal system and the political system. Yeah, they just like put the baby pops, just put them in there and just suck it to the husk. And the kids are like, all I want to do is spend time with Dad. And then they just throw it out. That's it. And then those children will probably have there's statistics on it. You know, they're far more likely to commit crimes, far more likely to have abused drugs, just stuff like that, to have a life of crime. And that helps the system too, right? Because like that lawyer's son will get to suckle and just suck off of the next generation. So that's the deal. We're gonna take that angle. Family law. And then there's a flower. Ooh, there it is. See the flower? It's pretty. See the flower? Pretty little flower. Separation from common law partner. Well, we got a guy there. They open up with this guy. You know what he's thinking? He's drinking his coffee and he's looking off into the distance. He's thinking, my life is over. I'll never see the kids again. That's what he's thinking. See that? She's got a box, cardboard box. She's going, should I give him this or? Yeah, I'll keep that. That looks valuable. Yeah, I'll give him here. Give him this whole thing. He doesn't need that. She's packing his boxes, right? She's pensively looking at the guy and like, should I accuse him of touching the children in an inappropriate way or not? I'm wondering if I should go that. Am I that evil? I really hate him. We'll see how tonight goes. This one here, she's a little older. She's going, God, I regret the day that I listened to the family court and all the lawyers and I destroyed my family 20 years ago, and my poor children, they're now drug addicts, and you know, they're going off into a life of their own, and they figured out that I alienated them from their father, and now they hate me for that. And if I could only turn back time, I would change that. But now I have to live with the misery of the regret. This one here's going, Mommy, I really miss Daddy. Didn't I used to have a daddy? And then she's going, no, my darling. That's just your imagination. There was no daddy. There never was. A stork just brought you and you don't have a father anymore. You do have an ATM, though. That's the lawyer. This is the lawyer looking at her child going, I guess we railroaded Daddy today, didn't we? Even though you love him, that's okay. You'll get over him. You happy? You tickle, tickle, tickle. This one here is concerned. She's like, the court gave him 1 day a year. I'm really concerned because, you know, my children might still think he cares and loves them. It's like, this is not enough. We got to completely get him out of their lives. This is not going to, we've got to file an affidavit. And there's some notes at the back. You can fill that out and just, you know, maybe your last will and testament for the guys in the back there, right? Because that's what's going to happen to you.